man died in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison this weekend. And I want to be clear at the outset, the crime this man is accused of is horrific. I will spare you the details, but based on the alleged crime, he should have been arrested and he should have been behind bars. And if his previous reported track record is any indication, this guy certainly was nobody's angel. But that's not the issue here. If he were still alive, he would be subject to the consequences of his actions. I don't know what those consequences would have been, but I imagine they would have been severe, considering the alleged crime. But he's not alive. He died on Sunday, due to what the parish prison says was an apparent suicide. This man's death is not an unfamiliar story, especially relative to the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, which is right behind me. We have sadly been here before. According to the Marshall Project, the EBR Parish Prison has recorded over 40 deaths since 2012. That's the same year our current sheriff took office. And the sheriff's office is responsible for this facility. We are a nation of laws, and Louisiana is a state of laws. EBR is a city parish of laws. Under that law, everyone deserves due process. And no one should be subject to an effective death penalty before they've even been indicted, let alone convicted of a crime. The death rate at the EBR Parish Prison is double the national average. As I mentioned in my announcement, a big influence on my social justice work was the death of my campaign co-chair's son in this very facility. It has been the subject of national coverage regarding the substandard conditions and the death rate therein. There is something very wrong happening in this facility, and it's been happening for years. Why do people keep dying in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison? This is your prison. You're paying for it. It's the same prison that until a few months ago was the primary image that would pop up on Google when you search for East Baton Rouge. What happens in this facility is a reflection of our community, and how our government treats those in its custody is a reflection of our basic human decency. Now, I get that for some people this isn't an attractive issue. Many people don't care what's happening in this facility. They don't care what happens to people who get arrested and locked up. And admittedly, incarcerated individuals aren't the easiest sell. I get it. But they are human beings. And in almost every single case, whether convicted or not, they are supposed to come home at some point. At this facility, these folks aren't lifers, and most will not be even after they've had their due process. At this facility, 88% of those 40+ individuals who have died had not yet been convicted of a crime. But even if those things weren't true, these individuals deserve humane treatment. Jail should not be where society takes out its most sadistic impulses. The Constitution explicitly forbids cruel and unusual treatment of people in this country. Neglect, inadequate access to medical treatment, and an institutional callous regard for the human lives in your custody is nothing short of cruelty. If you elect me to the Metro Council, understand that the safety of our community is my #1 priority. But that safety has to extend to everyone in our community. I won't turn a blind eye to crime, but I won't turn a torturous one to those accused of committing it. If you want law and order, that starts with justice and due process. It starts with a system disciplined enough to treat even those accused of the worst crimes humanely. If you elect me to the Metro Council, I will focus like a laser equally on both reducing crime, but also on the conditions in this facility. That means fighting to make sure we have adequate medical resources at the facility and prioritizing increased surveillance within the prison so there are no more blind spots that conveniently shield the treatment of those that are incarcerated. When a person is in EBR Parish custody, EBR Parish has a duty of care obligation. Your government right now doesn't care. Your local government right now turns a blind eye when people are killed or kill themselves in this facility. Your parish prison is a national embarrassment right now. And it's part of a broader reflection of failed local leadership for the last 20 years. But you can do something about it. But it'll be up to what you do in November. What you do or don't do this fall will determine the kind of government that you have. Vote for real change. Vote for real justice. Vote for people who not only can tell you what the problem is, but can give you a plan for how to fix it. But above all else, if you think that we can do better than this, vote.